What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome back to another LEGO The Incredibles news update. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about a bunch of things. We're going to be talking about the powers and abilities that you can expect to see from some of the supers, some new character reveals, and lots more. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so let's kick this video off by talking about some of the new character abilities. So the first character that we're going to talk about is Dash, and Dash is one of those characters that I'm personally really looking forward to playing as in this game, especially if he plays like Quicksilver could in LEGO Marvel's Avengers. You know, being able to play as Dash in the hub world, run up the sides of buildings, run super fast through the city streets, all that good stuff would be amazing. Now unfortunately, I don't actually know if you can do any of that in LEGO The Incredibles just yet, but what I do know is that you will be able to run on water as Dash, which is really cool. You can at least do that in the level. I'm not sure if you'll be able to do that in the hub world, but you would think so. You know, there's got to be some water in the hub world, but of course we will just have to wait and see. Now another thing that Dash can do, which is kind of similar to Quicksilver in LEGO Marvel's Avengers and Sonic the Hedgehog in LEGO Dimensions, is that he can actually use specific LEGO objects that allow him to run through certain areas at an extremely fast speed as a way of reaching a certain point in the level. Next up, we're going to talk about Elastigirl's abilities. So as we already know, Elastigirl will be able to transform into a boat, which you can do when you hold down circle in water. But I also noticed that she can transform into a space hopper. Now I'm not entirely sure what purpose that will hold, but it's still pretty neat that she has all these transformations that you can change into in the game. Another cool thing that Helen can do is interact with specific LEGO objects that really take advantage of her flexibility. For instance, she can be used as a ladder, which allows other characters to get up to high to reach areas, or she can transform into a beam, which will allow other characters to get from one side to another. There's also a really cool part in the IGN gameplay where Helen stretches through a vent and is still able to take out Syndrome's security guards. It's a really cool reference to that awesome scene from the first movie. Lastly, for the character abilities, we of course need to talk about Violet, and she is a really cool character in this game. She can do everything you'd expect her to be able to do. She can turn invisible, which allows her to go through the bird camera spotlights undetected. She can use her force field, which allows her to pass through security lasers without taking any damage, and she can also use it to breathe in explorable underwater areas. But one of the coolest things that I saw from Violet is that she can destroy psionic objects, in this case flowers, and use her force field to absorb the remaining bricks, which she can then use to build a specific LEGO object that will help the player further progress through the level. One last quick thing for Violet, we already knew that Dash could get inside Violet's force field, but the IGN gameplay also revealed that Elastigirl can now do the same as well. So maybe any character can team up with Violet and use her force field. That would be pretty cool, but it's likely that team up move is only available to the main Parr Family members, and possibly Frozone as well. Next up, we need to talk about the combat system. So LEGO The Incredibles combat system appears to be fairly similar to what we saw in the LEGO Ninjago movie video game. There is still of course a hit counter, and when you get enough hits you get the option to perform a super attack. And in the IGN gameplay we see that as Dash you have to tap square as fast as you can as he charges up his run to take out as many enemies as possible. And once you've done that you'll get a score, which in this case was incredible. Now next up we need to talk about a potential very exciting Easter egg. So during the IGN gameplay we see Dash hit a fishing rod, which then dives down into the water and picks up a LEGO object, and attached to it is a pink starfish. Now I might be looking way too much into this, but the first thing that I thought when I saw this was, is that Peach from Finding Nemo? Now, obviously, I couldn't say that it is Peach for certain because it could just be a pink starfish, but it's certainly possible, and it's not the first Pixar Easter egg that has been found in the LEGO Incredibles video game, as a user named Brody Corum pointed out to me that we do see the Eggman Movers van from Toy Story in the Parr Family gameplay trailer. So definitely keep an eye out for more Pixar Easter eggs because they seem to be very well hidden in this game. I mean, for all we know, this trolley might be from Al's Toy Bar, although that's probably a stretch. Now, one of the things that I noticed in the IGN gameplay is that we see a very different looking guard, because usually these guys wear black and grey uniforms, but this one here is actually wearing white and blue. Now, I don't actually recall seeing this guard in the first Incredibles movie, but I did find out that there was an official toy based on this design that was released, and it was called the Syndrome Island Guard. I'm not sure if any iteration of Syndrome's guards will actually be playable in this game, but it's still cool to see such an obscure design make it into the game. Not much to say here, but of course we can see our very first in-game look at Mirage in LEGO The Incredibles, and personally I think she looks great. TT Games are always brilliant at creating LEGO versions of characters that don't have pre-existing minifigures, and Mirage is absolutely no exception. Lastly, here of course we get our very first in-game look at Syndrome, and before you ask, no, I have absolutely no idea why he's dressed like that. Now obviously Syndrome will be playable in his costume, that is a pretty much guarantee, but I wonder if this variation will also be playable. It might just be used in the cutscene for comedic effect, and it definitely gets the job done there, but it would also be a funny alternative costume to be able to use in free play. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Now if that wasn't enough LEGO The Incredibles news, then definitely stay tuned, because I've got another exciting news update coming very soon. Anyway guys, as always I want to thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more videos real soon, and as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.